Welcome back to PsycKeys. Ever wondered why that one friend always expects you to drop everything for them? Or why your coworker seems shocked when you can't cover their shift for the millionth time? Buckle up, because we're about to uncover the wild psychology behind why being too nice might actually be ruining your relationships. That's right, we're diving into the favor trap, the surprising way that constant kindness can totally backfire. By the end of this video, you'll never look at favors the same way again. Trust me, what you're about to learn will change how you handle every relationship in your life. Ready to have your world turned upside down? Let's dive in! Alright, let's start this off with a psychological plot twist. The overjustification effect. Imagine this. You start helping your roommate with their laundry because they're swamped with work. Fast forward a month, and they're giving you the stink eye for not folding their shirts. What gives? Here's the surprising part. By constantly doing favors, you've actually killed their motivation to do it themselves. It's like their brain is saying, why bother when someone else will do it? This isn't just some theory. Researchers at Stanford found that kids who got rewarded for drawing, something they already loved, actually lost interest when the reward stopped. Pretty wild, right? But wait. It gets even more interesting. Remember the old saying, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours? Well, when favors become the norm, that goes right out the window. Instead of gratitude, you're breeding entitlement. It's like turning your life into an all-you-can-eat buffet of favors, and people are coming back for thirds and fourths. Now, let's talk about a cognitive bias that's probably messing with your head right now. The Dunning-Kruger effect. It's what happens when people overestimate their abilities, especially in areas where they're clueless. When you're constantly doing favors for someone, they start to think, hey, this task must be super easy. They have no clue about the effort you're putting in. It's like someone watching a professional chef whip up a gourmet meal and thinking, pfft, I could do that. Get this. A study of college students found that those who got tons of academic help from others thought they were secret geniuses. Spoiler alert, they weren't. They just never had to face their own limitations. And here's where it gets really crazy. This warped self-perception doesn't just stop with them. They start expecting everyone else to be a favor-dispensing machine too. It's like they're living in a fantasy world where everyone's a mind-reading superhero, ready to fulfill their every whim. Ever heard of the hedonic treadmill? It's the psychological equivalent of always chasing the next big thing. Apply this to favors, and you've got a recipe for disaster. Picture this. Your partner starts bringing you coffee in bed every morning. Day 1, you're over the moon. Day 30, if that coffee's not there, you're grumpier than a cat in a bathtub. That's the favor treadmill in action, folks. A 5-year study found that people who constantly received support actually became less grateful over time. Can you believe it? The more help they got, the less they appreciated it. It's like building up an immunity to kindness. Let's talk about the self-serving bias, our brain's way of taking credit for the good and blaming others for the bad. Mix this with constant favors, and you've got an ego cocktail that'd make Narcissus blush. Imagine your friends always let you pick the movie for movie night. After a while, you might start thinking, well, obviously they always choose me because I have the best taste. Newsflash. They might just be tired of your whining when you don't get your way. A study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who often got special treatment in social settings thought they were hot stuff in new groups too. Spoiler alert, they weren't. They were just living in a favor-fueled fantasy land. Ever felt like everyone's staring at you when you trip in public? That's the spotlight effect. Our tendency to think we're the center of attention. Now imagine that feeling, but for favors. When you're used to people bending over backwards for you, you start to think everyone's just itching to fulfill your every desire. Newsflash, they're not. They're probably wondering why you're looking at them expectantly while your coffee mug is empty. In a classic study, people wearing embarrassing t-shirts thought way more people noticed than actually did. The same goes for favors. Just because your mum still does your laundry doesn't mean your roommate is going to. Let's talk about the fundamental attribution error, our brain's sneaky way of blaming others for everything. In the world of constant favors, this turns into a finger-pointing festival. Imagine your work buddy who always covers for you suddenly says no. Instead of thinking, wow, they must be swamped, you jump to wow, what a selfish jerk. It's like your brain has turned into a toddler screaming, it's not fair, at the slightest inconvenience. Research shows that employees who always get help from colleagues are quick to blame others when things go wrong. It's like they're playing a twisted game of hot potato with responsibility, and guess what? You're always it. Last but not least, let's dive into the illusion of control, our brain's way of tricking us into thinking we're the puppet masters of the universe. When you're used to people jumping at your every request, you start to feel like you've got some kind of magical power. Spoiler alert, you don't. You're not Professor X, and people aren't your mind-controlled minions. A university study found that students who got lots of academic breaks thought they could handle anything. Plot twist. They couldn't. When reality hit, it hit hard. It's like thinking you're a master chef because you can microwave a burrito. Wow, we've been on a wild ride, haven't we? From the kindness hangover to the control freak's paradise, we've uncovered the twisted psychology behind why too many favors can turn you into an accidental jerk. So what's the takeaway? Should we all stop being nice? Heck no! But maybe it's time to find that sweet spot between kindness and enabling. Next time someone does you a solid, show some genuine appreciation. And if you're the favor giver, remember, sometimes the kindest thing you can do is let people stand on their own 2 feet. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever fallen into the favor trap? Or maybe you've dealt with someone who's tumbled in head first. Share your stories in the comments. Let's get a conversation going. If this video made you rethink your favor-giving or taking ways, smash that like button and subscribe. Until next time, keep questioning, keep growing, and maybe think twice before asking your roommate to do your dishes. Again, see you in the next video.